Tony, very good morning to you, first of all.
Good morning. By the way, I'm the Veterans Association UK, not Veterans Voices.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. That's
all right.
that's somebody giving me the wrong information there. Tell us about what you're doing this week and how your veterans are feeling about it all.
There's not a great deal going on in Nelson where I live, but I will be meeting up with a bunch of veterans, going down the pub, have a few beers, have a bit of chat about old time. Most of the guys are actually Northern Ireland veterans from my time as well, so
Yeah.
basically that's what we're going to be doing today.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, the fly past and the big day yesterday was a lovely reminder, I think, of what we can do when it's necessary, and what people really do feel about the men and women who served back in the Second World War, particularly. And I was quite encouraged by that, because you don't always see signs of that all the time these days, in this day and age in Britain. And so I was really quite sort of heartened, I think, to see the celebration.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was literally thousands and thousands of people there, like you said, but the fly past and everything. I mean, the whole thing was a great day.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I mean, obviously, things are not easy for some of you guys who served in Northern Ireland and back in the 1970s. You know, the attitude sometimes of governments is not what it should be, in my view. Sometimes there are people who feel put upon. Many of your colleagues have still been investigated for things that happened, which in my view shouldn't be the case at all. What's your view of all of that stuff?
Well, I'm absolutely fuming, to be honest. In fact, it was in 2019. We used to have a satellite office in Accrington in Lancashire.
Yeah.
And the local MP, a chap called Graham Jones, he's on the Defence Select Committee. He came to see me. He knew I was a Northern Ireland veteran. I made a bit of a chat about what was going on. I actually went over to Belfast in 2015 when I first found out about the witch hunt.
Yeah.
I made a long chat about that, and I put forward a portfolio for him and stuff. Well, you know, things I've got, like the yellow card, which is rules of engagement for Northern Ireland. Gave him a copy of that. I actually also gave him a copy of a photograph of a bloke allegedly shot by the Parrots on Bloody Sunday, which proved not to be the case.
Right.
I said the whole thing is a witch hunt. He came from Blair initially. For whatever reason, at that time, it was still going ahead, and we did manage to put the block on it through Boris Johnson at the time. That was back in I think under pressure, Sunak then sort of reopened it again under pressure, Jerry Adams and co. Then we got the legacy bill came out for May last year, and all of a sudden Starmer gets in. The next thing it's being repelled.
Yes. Yeah. So the situation currently is that the protection that was given to you veterans from Northern Ireland is now going to be removed, right?
Yeah, the second time.
Yeah. Which is extraordinary, isn't it?
It is. It's. I mean, I can't believe it. But again, Mr. Starmer, he actually last September he went behind everybody's back on the QT, and I fought for several years to get the law changed for veterans, for homeless veterans, and for guys coming out of the military to be given top priority to housing.
Right.
We got it. I've even got the email from the then housing minister, Heather Wheeler. And unbeknown to everybody, Mr. Starmer last September went behind everybody's back on the QT and repelled that bill as well.
Right. Amazing. And so what does it feel like when you see him sitting there behind the royal family, watching it all, talking about on social media how he owes a great debt of gratitude to our heroes from the military? Yeah,
well, he shows no gratitude whatsoever. Absolutely none whatsoever. I mean, he's even gone for the 4 SAS guys. They were actually, I mean, we're on about the yellow card, quoting rules of engagement.
Yeah.
They attacked 4 IRA gunmen who were in the process of attacking a police station with heavy machine guns. And he's just on about prosecuting them.
Yeah.
You know, I can't wake the guy up.
Yeah. It's extraordinary, isn't it? What would you say to him if you could be put in front of him?
You wouldn't want me to say. You wouldn't want me to say on air.
Well, try and make it clean. Keep it clean. What would you say?
I will keep it very clean, but I will certainly object. It'd take me all my time to keep my hands to myself. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, it's shocking, absolutely shocking. But let's talk about it again, Tony, because when it does come up, I'd love to hear your views on it as we get closer to anything that happens anywhere near a court. Tony Hayes founded the charity Veterans Association and a former soldier who served in the British Army under no apprehension, under no confusion either about the fact that Keir Starmer is no friend of the soldier and certainly no friend of the veteran. So for him to prance about and pretend that he is frankly pretty insulting. Major General Nick Kaplan is here, former Chief Executive of Blind Veterans UK. Very good morning to you, Nick.
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Good to see you. Thank you very much indeed. What are you up to this week in terms of VE Day, in terms of some of the celebrations that are going on?
Well, I'm now retired and living up in the Outer Hebrides, but I had the opportunity yesterday to watch the celebrations in London on the television, and I was with them in spirit, having experienced similar things like that in London before, and you've got a real flavour, a real taste for the pageantry, the celebration, everything that's good about this country. It was wonderful to see.
It is wonderful to see, particularly in this day and age when you don't see it that often, and sometimes you wonder whether that kind of feeling and that kind of pride in our country can still be there. And so it was really, for me, it was very heartening to see it.
Well, I just think it's reassuring, and we've seen it at the D-Day celebrations last year. And yesterday, when the crowds were out there in such numbers and with such enthusiasm, showing their respect and their appreciation for everybody who helped to make this a successful conclusion to the war 80 years ago. It was a remarkable event.
Yes, it really was, and much more to come. As I say, the poppies, 30,000 poppies being placed at the Tower of London, which was an incredible scene. I don't know if you remember when it first went in there in 2014. I mean, it was really, really hard to get to, but most people managed to get to see it at some point.
It was you needed to be determined to get there, but it was well worth the wait. It was the most extraordinary spectacle, and hats off to everybody who brings these things together. The poppies around the tower, and yesterday the pageantry. Yesterday, we saw Garrison Sergeant Major Vern Stokes, who's a very, very modest man, but he stands there and watches these things come together. It's like at the Cenotaph every year. It's people like those who make these spectacles work, and they deserve quite a sort of a slap on the back as well. Yes,
absolutely right. And pubs are going to be open a bit later on Thursday. I don't know if that stretches all the way up to the Hebrides. Hopefully it does. I've like a couple of times I've been up in that neck of the woods. It's quite hard to find one that was open, to be honest. But are you sort of far removed from it up there? Do you feel as though you're still kind of connected?
Still connected with through the wonders of modern communications, and we've got our own veterans community up here in the islands. They played their part, Army, Air Force, and Navy, and they come together periodically, and you have that wonderful camaraderie. I think it's the case wherever you are across the country. When you can get the veterans together, there is an almost instantaneous camaraderie. People looking out for each other and helping each other. Things that they learned in the services that they continue through their lives. And I think you get that sense also, even from the few World War II veterans that we have left. About it being a team thing, about it everybody looking out for each other, and that appreciation of being in it together with other people.
Yeah, well, I wish you well, Major General. Thank you very much indeed. Major General Nick Kaplan, former Chief Executive of Blind Veterans UK.